Welcome to our podcast series, Raising Saints and Forming Scholars, where we delve into your questions about the world of classical education. We were made for truth, beauty, and goodness. Let's talk about it. Hello, and we are coming to you live from a busy day here at Holy Child Catholic School. The kids are actually going to be coming in from recess, and we thought this would be a perfect time to just tell you how excited we are about a development with our library, with our books, and our Ignatius Book Fair that is coming up soon. You know, you might remember a couple of years ago, we did a podcast about some new books we had ordered and how excited we were. I thought it would be good to just take a moment and talk about the importance of good formation with good books. We've seen so many beautiful things at our school, students coming up and talking about books that they're reading in the library. You might remember last year we read The Little Prince as a school, and I still hear from students and parents about the importance of that book. Last summer we went to the ICLE conference, and Mrs. Garrity listened to a talk on a good Catholic library. And that really got us this new momentum of going on this journey to refresh our library. So we have been refreshing our library. We're so grateful Mrs. Angerer has taken the lead in this endeavor, and we are just spending more time on making sure that the books we bring to our children are the true, the good, and the beautiful. In particular, something else that's really been on my mind, I went to the Great Hearts Conference last spring. I've mentioned it to a lot of you. We've been purchasing fairy tales from Jonathan Pageau. We're going to include him in our show notes. Here's his book on Jack and the Beanstalk, Snow White. What Pageau has done is taken traditional fairy tales with all their disturbing elements. He's rewritten them with a golden thread of scripture running through them, but still leaving aspects that make us feel uncomfortable. In other words, the very opposite of Disney. And so we're just really excited about what we're bringing to our students. And Pageau argues these traditional fairy tales are the closest, or is the closest language that we have to scripture. That's how formative they are. These are through an exclusive distributor, not through Ignatius Press. So as we get ready for our book fair with Ignatius Press, just a few reminders. You know, we're so proud to be part of the Cardinal Newman Society, who just put out a letter to all Catholic school principals who are associated that Scholastic books is on a whole new mission. I really wouldn't call it new. They've always been this way. And bringing an agenda to students about things that go against beliefs that we have as a church, you know, gender ideology, critical race theory, and such. Scholastic books, for as long as I've been principal, I've made sure we don't order books from them. Some of the old ones are worth keeping, but we definitely have turned our sights elsewhere. That's why we have an affiliation with Paper Pie, thanks to Mrs. Angerer. And now we're really getting closer to Ignatius Press because we want to be different. We have a different library than the other schools around us, and we're really excited about it. So Ignatius Press, you might be familiar with them. What an amazing company. They were founded by Father Joseph Fessio, an amazing Jesuit who was a student of Pope Benedict XVI. When you listen to him, when you hear about his mission, it makes you really excited to be a Catholic and part of this renaissance in publishing that we're seeing. So I wanted to share with you some of the books that have arrived because we have, shall we call it, a starter kit from Ignatius Press. And I want to invite you to order books from Ignatius Press. It's actually quite easy. We're going to include the link in our show notes, and if you click on the link, you search for Holy Child Catholic School, you put to Harris, our zip code 87059, and if you purchase books through our link, our school school link, we earn what's called Ave dollars. And Ave dollars help us build our library, build a library that we want to be a beacon of hope, bringing joy and delight to our students. So let me just share with you some exciting things that we have already gotten. You might be familiar with this book, Angel on the Waters. What a magnificent tale that shows the student what it really means to be pro-life. I really always look for books that will delight the child, but will also give them a beautiful message. Aristotle said good literature is to delight and to instruct, and that is always in the back of my mind. Another nice thing about Ignatius, they have a lot of variety. So let me show you, for example, I always want to remember our young men and make sure that our library represents the best of the masculine genius and the feminine genius. So we have a new collection of books that some of our young boys might like, with a focus on, sports or, war stories, which I know some of our young ladies might like also. But we just definitely want to have things that appeal to the masculine genius. For the feminine genius, we have more copies of Little Women because those are checked out the most. Also, we have retellings of the Odyssey and classics. Also, Mrs. Anger pointed out to me, we also have books here that might have been precious to you as a child. So we have those types of classics here as well. Also, things I'm still learning about. Have you heard of Lupio? He is a fictional character done in a creative way, who meets up with St. Francis of Assisi and the wolf that St. Francis of Assisi was able to tame. So this is a delightful series. We also have, I mentioned the Odyssey is retold. This is a retelling of the tales of Dickens. So this might sound like maybe a repeat to you. If you remember from 2 years ago, we had retellings of Dickens and Little Women, but you can never really have enough of these. I want a million different kinds that appeal to all the different students at our school. So imagine a young child who's not ready for Great Expectations or A Tale of Two Cities to open up this book and shake hands with Dickens, shake hands with this author, and find something beautiful. We also have interesting ways of meeting up with the saints. We are very interested in Blessed Carlo Acutis and his connection with the Eucharist. So we have, an assortment of graphic novels, comic books, things like that. You can see over here we have Tommy DePaulo, an interesting way of looking at the saints and the liturgical year. I want to close with this book, Holy Mysteries, 12 Investigations into Extraordinary Cases. If I open up this book, sorry, but there's nothing as exciting opening up a new book. Can you imagine? There's 12 cases. Case number 6 is who built the staircase of Loreto? I love that it's a story about something local here in New Mexico. Case number 7, what caused Padre Pio's wounds? But the reason I think a book like this is so important is, I'm sure you know as parents, our students are in a battle where they believe faith and reason are opposed. They think science is opposed to faith. There's such a battle. I keep in touch with a lot of my older students who are older now, but I also talk to first graders, and I see that battle going on in our society, and it hurts their little hearts. Having books like this, I really think, help open the door where students can make peace with themselves interiorly and know that faith and reason are not opposed. And as we build our library, we will have more and more books that show students it was the Catholic Church that actually started the foundation to build the scientific method. We wouldn't have the scientific method without the Catholic Church. So really inviting our students to enter back into our own history is the way we bring healing to our students, to our church, and really to our society. So I can't thank you enough for joining us in this endeavor to build our library, which is truly saving souls. So thank you so much, and God bless you.